Basically, yeah, I co-built a $1.2 billion portfolio in the past and done over $2.5 billion in different kinds of transactions. Yeah, I have done quite a while in different commercial real estate and different ventures. So yeah, it has been a long ride, but not everything has been the color of roses. As you know, some people believe that success is that's what they see, but it's like an iceberg where you see everything below is a big effort. And in reality, I don't come from the industry. I come from the clothing business.
Yeah. Could you talk about how you started off and where you at today? How did you find yourself into real estate?
Yeah, let me give you a little background. My family is from Hungary, and after the Second World War, they decided to migrate to Chile in South America, where my grandfather started a clothing company. So it was manufacturing of formal wear, suits, mostly menswear. I grew up in that world, and since I was a kid, I was going there, and I knew all the insides of the business. And when I was 16, I started working in the firm. My father died when I was 11, but when I started working at 16, and then by 18, I was in charge of the factory itself, young, naive, and stupid. And I had a lot of things to learn back then. At some point before I got 20, we were approached and we merged the company to a textile mill. And, and then we were out of the business silently. So a friend of ours in the banking suggested to go to Los Angeles, California. And this was back in 1993. And at the time, I was like 21 years old. I was like, sure, why not? Right. And I was seduced by the movies. And, like I was a real kid and I didn't know much about anything. Right. I have some experience working. And like many people at that age, believe that you know a lot and you know about life. But things didn't turn out that well. So came to the United States and decided to open a chain of stores. And to make a long story short, I got the scam. I lost the family business, the family money. I really ended up with nothing. Uh, I actually got evicted a couple of times for not paying my rent back then. And it was a really eye opening experience and life changing that even when you have the best of intentions, things don't go the way you want. So I ended up in the East Coast, started again. And the only thing I had on my side was my reputation and some contacts. So I started a wholesale business. And the business grew up too fast in the East Coast and I got scammed again. This time, international officers that I set up, they stole our inventory and accounts receivable and really end up collapsing the company. And so I gotta get up again and learn from the mistakes. And I end up in Texas with a large retail stores and doing vertical integration. By the end of the 90s, this was probably around the 2000, early 2000, the industry changed, the clothing business, and people that were not wearing formal wear, instead they were more casual, etc. And the business was really started suffering from that. So unfortunately, that business went under, and I learned big lessons back then, 25 years ago. And accidentally, I ended up in real estate. And one of my mentors at the time, I would say he felt sorry for the situation because he started the same way, making many mistakes, and decided to teach me some of the tricks of the business. And one of them was like, because I asked him, well, why don't you do this by yourself? He said, listen, this industry is too big. If you cannot sell it to an investor, the deal is not good. And like that, many things start happening. I made my first deal with him and he started teaching me and so on. So over the years, from that point until 2008, I was doing it more like it's called free developer. So we're doing this deal for somebody else. And and then in exchange for a fee. not really doing all the other side, all part of the business on the other side. But by the year 2008, 2009, when the financial crisis arrived, we were at the point that the investors were too scared to jump in the deals, and the properties were at such a low price that very few investors decided to jump on it. And I remember saying, listen, we need to grab the checkbook in here because nobody wants to do anything and everybody's so afraid they don't understand what's going on. So we decided to create an investment fund. And everybody laughed at the time, thinking that how you guys have your investment fund, you have never been in the investment side per se, you have been on the property side. So we did our first offering for 100 million, and we surrounded with a lot of people with a lot of knowledge that can help on that side. And we end up doing the first offering like that. And from that point, the company started doing many other things with a different strategy back then. It was a lot of value-added strategy until the year 2018, where at the time the portfolio grew about $1.2 billion because you have properties in or other properties going out. So, but at the time it was around that amount. And then we decided to unwind that company and change the strategy overall. But then COVID hit, and it was a game changer completely. With COVID hit, really things changed. The client mentality changed. The big clients, in the past, we used to do it with also what I call smaller clients. So they would put most of the equity, and then the smaller client will complete the difference. But then with COVID, they decided that, you know what, we want to do the whole thing ourselves. That created a problem for the smaller clients that have 500,000, a million, or $2 million. And it's like, what are we going to do with these clients? So I remember the approach of the dentist. Years ago, I had a tooth pain, an issue in my tooth. And I called my dentist during the weekend. And he said, come over right away. We will take care of you. And then I asked him, how come you open your office for me? And he said something that really got stuck to me. He said, if I don't take care of you, you will have found somebody else. And probably you have left me for that new person because they are taking care of you. So we end up changing a lot of things. I created different structures for all kinds of customers in general. That's very much so.